域展開。無料空所。
This is where the journey comes to an end, ladies and gentlemen. That is the ghost of Yotei. Alrighty. This took way, and I mean way longer than I thought it would. With the transition I was going through and I'm getting tongue-tied. My apologies on that. With all the changes I was basically going through, changing setups, still waiting on my trying to get my new headset. That is why I haven't made no commentary videos at all, hardly, guys. To answer your question on that one, you're probably wondering why did I go silent, radio silent, on the commentary videos. Not talking about my playthroughs, I'm talking about the actual commentary videos I just usually do on different topics. That's because right now I don't currently have a good headset that's kind of, I mean, I could use my headphones, but honestly, it just doesn't really, I prefer a headset. It just doesn't really hit the same for me. Personally, I can't really get into my zone when I'm like using like smart earbuds and stuff like that. So for the time being, I just kind of hold off on it. And other than that, alright, let's get into the nitty and gritty a little bit of Ghost of Yotei. Am I gonna really do like I usually do? This isn't gonna be a very long one, only because Ghost of Yotei, compared to all of my other playthroughs, Ghost of Yotei is probably the one game where like I played it, but like I didn't play it consistently. Like I will play it like 8 hours, so maybe eight hours a week, and then I would like go like another like damn near almost 2 weeks without playing. That would be the reason why it would seem like some points in my gameplay I was really fucking like good, or like I now just become like absolutely dog shit in like small fights and shit like that. I was dying in small fights. I died a lot. I just cut it out, a lot of it, to be honest with you guys. You probably noticed it anyway, but I cut out a lot of fights and stuff like that. It was a lot of failures because there was a lot, because I was like coming back after not playing a long time, and I was like forgetting how to play the game, and it's like, oh shit, like, I'm just picking it, I'm remembering it as I play, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm hoping they don't notice that. I'm pretty sure you guys did, because it was pretty bluntly obvious that I was falling behind like crazy, the way I was just lagging behind. And then as time went on, you know, I kept going, but I was determined. I was like, I'm going to finish Ghost of Yotei. I'm not letting this game pass me. I'm not dropping this game. I'm going to finish it. And I'm for surely going to make it to the end. Damn if I did. All right, we made it, guys. We made it. I couldn't have done it without you guys. All right, I couldn't have done it. Made it to the end. Alright, I think you guys probably wonder what the biggest question is. The biggest question probably in your mind is, which one do I prefer more? Ghost of Yotei, Ghost of Tsushima? Alright, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei. Alright, hard to say. Ghost of Yotei is fresh in my brain right now, and if I had to really choose, I will probably be more lenient towards Ghost of Yotei, because I remember more of Ghost of Yotei than I do Ghost of Tsushima. And that's not to say that Ghost of Tsushima is like just inferior to this game or anything like that. Ghost of Tsushima is really, really fun, but I remember Ghost of Tsushima also having like the little gadgets and stuff with like you can throw smoke bombs and all that, but I don't think he wielded multiple weapons, if I remember right. He wielded a sword, he wielded a katana, and I think he can do dual katana, but I don't think he actually had like an I don't think he had a spear, or he had like a gun, a bow, and all that. I don't think he was able to do all that, for what I remember. It's been a while, guys. I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima since it first came out, so that should tell you right there. It's been a long time. Honestly, at some point I gotta re-look at like some of my gameplay for that, just to kind of like refresh my thoughts on it. I don't know, I might make a video like really like titled like what the feeling was like Ghost of Yotei's I don't know how, it's still a working title out there. Ghost of Yotei's ups and no, it's not gonna work. I don't like that. I don't like the title. I'm gonna come up with something. Something that makes sense. Something cool. Maybe to me, maybe not to you guys, but nevertheless, something cool. But let's get back. I'm going off track right here. Ghost of Yotei. A scale of 1 to 10. You guys know how I gotta do this, alright? It is a 8 out of 10 for me. This game's an 8 out of 10. You may be wondering, Spectro, why you only give it an 8 out of 10? Why not a 9 out of 10? Why not a 10 out of 10? It is an amazing game. Don't get me wrong, this game is gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at. Honestly, the scenery, all of it's gorgeous. The interacting with the environment has got to be like one of the most funnest things ever. Riding through the fields with your horse and just like taking it all in, and also fighting these bounties as you go along. This is great. You know, you're never not having nothing to do in this game. However, my biggest gripe for this game is the story. All right, you have Atsu. Atsu's family was killed by the Yotei 6 basically because Saito was a petty ass fucker who basically hated her father because he betrayed him. Okay, cool. And then he kills the mother, the father, and the brother, presumably, in the beginning, because we don't really know. Is Junbei still alive or not? And then we honestly, in my opinion, I think it would have worked a lot better if they were all dead. Hear me out. Junbei being alive done more damage than good for us, and I get why they brought him back. I get why the whole big twist of him being alive was there, and the reason why I say that is because when him being alive is basically led to Kiku's character, and I get it. They needed something to reel Atsu back in, because once she go on this little revenge path, and she became a ghost and everything, you know, she was gonna be all bloodlusted, and then she was gonna feel all empty in the end because she would have nobody else to live. She wouldn't have nothing else to live for. So, you know, you gotta give her something else to motivate her, something else to fight for other than pure revenge. It's valid, very valid, because that would make her very like a one-note sort of character. I mean, I won't say very one-noted, but it's not very interesting. Where she's just driven by complete revenge. No matter, even though I do think it was pretty fucking cool, the fact that she was like really like just bloodlusted and just really want to kill the Yotei system no matter what. But we see and learn the consequences of her actions, of when she just abandons everything around her to accomplish the mission. Really, just when the mission comes first type deal, you know. And you know what, now that I'm saying this is sounding really goddamn familiar, huh? No, ain't this some Batman shit? Yeah, bro, ain't this some Batman shit, bro? Now I don't read Batman comics, but I consume great amount of Batman media, and I'm pretty sure Batman's on the same mentality. Now, has Batman just straight up let his family like die, the Bat family die and stuff like that? No, he will save them, but when the mission always comes first, Batman, you know. And I feel like in a way that's similar to basically Atsu, you know. Atsu revenge comes first, which was very apparent when it was on the beach and the dragon was right there and Saito was right there, and Atsu made no hesitation, which he could have saved goddamn Junbei and what was her name? Atsuki? I think it was Atsuki. I think that was her name. And basically they got captured. It was all her fault. She got captured. He could have, even Saito said it. Kiku said it. You could have saved them, but you chose revenge instead. So that led to this whole situation going on for Atsu and her being in that very terrible predicament. And then she just had to fall down to her knees and be broken down to realize that her selfishness and her driven by pure revenge is making her no better than Yotei 6. Lesson learned, okay? I can't be mad at that. At least she now has something better to fight for than pure revenge. This is some very great progress for her character, but I'm gonna have to be honest. I don't know about you guys, but I saw it coming. One, I also saw Junbei dying. I caught it earlier, someone down the game. But I ended up being wrong. He ended up surviving instead. I think he got like captured or something like that. Or he was almost about to die. I can't remember what part of the game it was. But I knew Junbei was gonna die. I never said it again after that, I don't think. But I felt in my mind, in my heart, I just felt like he was gonna die. Like, it was very bluntly obvious. And it became even more obvious in my head. Because I was like, when they introduced the daughter. When he introduced he had a daughter and he like kind of became in the secret, him and telling Atsu, and I was like, shit. I see where this is going. Now, honestly, I've been more surprised if he did stay alive than he did die. But one of them was gonna die. I was absolutely certain of that. One of them was gonna die. And honestly, it made more sense for Junbei, because what would be the whole point of Atsuki's whole changing sides and redemption and stuff like that. And also, I'm gonna be honest, bro, damn near I'm gonna have to call Atsu a little bit of a fraud for that too. So let's be real, wow, she did save her and let her go, and I'm gonna be honest, she should have took her arm or something from Atsuki. She should have took her, she ain't had to kill her, but she should have took her arm or something off her. She ain't do shit. She just sat there and let her live. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I like that. I don't think I like the fact that you let one of the people burn your family alive and stab you to a tree just because she stopped. And also, who held you while your mother was being hung. Well, she said it was too late to save the mother. Okay, sure, we'll chop it after that. I ain't see her try to save her, but let's just say it was already too late. She was gonna die no matter what. All right, plot reasons, right? So we get back to the whole Kusune, and we find out there's another Kusune, and then we find out that she's been like kicked out because, you know, her mind changed. She always thought what they did that night at the fire and the burning tree was always wrong, and Saizo was driven for revenge. It's gonna lead them all to their deaths, which it did. And then, you know, she meets up with Asu. Asu finds the truth. Asu's like confused. Asu goes to this like that's where Asu's big change starts, when she meets her. That's where the big change begins. This is when she starts to really question the mission that she's on. That's when you start to see should I really be killing every last single Yotei 6? Should I really be abandoning everything for the sake of revenge, you know? At this point, Asu has had many people in the game tell her that she should, you know, not be driven by revenge, or she shouldn't, like, you know, take down the Yotei 6, but don't let it consume you. Don't become the Onryo. Don't become something that you cannot recognize of yourself. And it didn't matter to Atsu, because all it matters is that they all paid, which is why she had a sash around her waist, because it represented the blood and pain of what she suffered, and she wants her enemies to know that they will all feel the same as she goes down that list. Honestly, that list strikes more terror when they see it, because it's like you see all these names and each name is marked in their blood just to let you know that they are dead. On another note, I think the spider died too easy too, by the way. Not the spider, but the one in the beginning. Honestly, the very beginning of the game. I can't even remember. I can't even remember that Yotei 6 guy. He was fucking ass. He died. He down there might as well be in tutorial. He pretty much is a tutorial character. Let's be real. That man was a waste. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. He kind of, if he was part of Yotei 6, he should have been a boss. They could have found anybody. They could have found like a massive brute or some general to do that, to use as a tutorial for the player to get introduced to using one of Yotei 6 as the person to. I guess they gotta. I guess that's the way they want to establish Asu's character as the ghost into like the minds of the people. But I felt like that first boss should have been a little bit later, not too far away from the beginning, but a little bit later. But hey, alright, regardless, he ended up being dead and people heard about it. We went from there. But the most part, like I said before, it was the story. Alright, the story didn't really do anything outside the box. Now, as for Jin Sakai's story in Ghost of Tsushima, his whole clan was wiped out, right? And then the Mongols took tried to take over all of Tsushima, right? And then he started using unorthodox ways of being a samurai, which is why they called him a ghost, because he started using the hook. He started using the smoke bombs. He also started wearing a mask, started hiding in the shadows. He started fighting in a way that is not traditional for a samurai. Hence why, you know, you see in this game, when you go into the story, that you find out that Jin Sakai, even after he saved the whole island of Tsushima, the shogun pretty much wanted to erase him from history, because after all his good deeds, it doesn't matter, because from their eyes, he's not honorable. You don't want to honor somebody who doesn't even follow traditions of being a samurai. Like, regardless of how much good he's done, he's just not somebody that should be in history. They don't want to remember him. They want him to be forgotten. They don't want other ghosts popping up in history. They don't want other people to be inspired by that, which it don't really matter. Another ghost was born anyway, as we see here. So I'm noticing a trend that ghosts are formed and like forged in fire, and how should I say this? They are forged in the fire of revenge, and it always stimulates. Well, I ain't gonna say always stimulates, because I can't remember. It's like, what's it like? The final boss of Ghost of Tsushima was like, it was like his old master, right? It was somebody he used to know. Like, it was some guy he used to know from a long while back, something like that. I can't even remember who it was. I think it was like a traitor of his clan. God damn it, I really gotta rewatch that. I really gotta rewatch some of my gameplay and try my memory. I'm really having a hard time remembering that game. I have like bits and pieces in my head, but I can't really put together too much. And so I don't want to say too much about that. But like I was saying before, Ghost of Yotei is not terrible. It's not bad. It's actually more fun or gameplay wise than it was to Ghost of Tsushima. And then also the bounties were, did the Ghost of Tsushima have bounties? It might. I think it did have bounties, but I don't remember though. God damn. You know what? Fuck it. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to hold off on that. I'm gonna have to hold off on that topic for a bit. Making those comparisons is not doing me any good right now because I can't remember the game, the Ghost of Tsushima, really well right now. I remember only bits and pieces. I remember the end of the game. I remember like the final fight, but I can't remember like the side stuff. And I remember the beginning half of the game, but I can't remember the meat and the actual like the body of the game. And that right there is the issue. I need to refresh my memory on that. But I'm gonna go see Yotei. 8 out of 10. Great game, great soundtrack, great costumes, great armors. I didn't choose any other armor. Why? Because I don't know. I just kind of wanted to go with it. That was what they given me. It just felt right. They wear the Onryo's armor and to do the final battle in most of the fights. And then, of course, when I got a Jin Sakai's sword, I had to equip that. Though. That was no doubt in my mind. But I did have to switch back to the wolf sword because honestly, that had to be the sword that kills. It had to be the sword that kills. What's his name? Saki? Not that guy. I didn't mean to say Saki. Saito. And then, yeah, it wasn't terrible, but the story wasn't nothing like that you couldn't predict. Let's put it like that. It was nothing that you couldn't predict, and I think that's what holds this game back. Overall, the story is not nothing that you couldn't predict halfway through it. And hell, not even halfway through it. Probably from the very beginning, really, if you want to be honest. Once you hear her backstory and everything, you kind of can get a gist of where the story is going. And that, in a way, is not a good thing. I've never been fond of stories where, and especially in games, where I don't mind if they use tropes and things like that. That's every media does that. Right? There's always gonna be a trope of some kind in it. But when it's to the point when I feel like I can start kind of piecing together the story within my head very quickly, and I'm not talking about just the first, I'm talking the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now, I didn't know how everything was going to happen. Of course, I didn't know how the fights were going to turn out. I didn't know exactly what the characters were going to look like. I couldn't have known any of that. But I could have guessed that, yes, she was going to succeed in killing all the Yotei 6. Yes, I could have also guessed that the last two was going to be the brothers, the Saito sons. And also, I could have guessed as well that I think the only thing I didn't guess was her sparing the original Kasune, the one who actually was there and the burning fire. I didn't expect that, honestly. I honestly thought she was still gonna kill her, but you know, I guess, like I said, you know, you can't be fueled by hatred and revenge the whole point of the story, because I mean, what would be the point, right? Here, the ghost is supposed to be for the people. It's supposed to save the people. It's supposed to be a message. It's supposed to be a symbol, you know. And kind of got me wondering, like, where are we leading to with the ghosts? You know, is the ghosts gonna become like an Assassin's Creed sort of thing? You know, I'm not thinking about that. Are ghosts gonna start coming to Assassin's Creed? Now we got Jin Sakai and now we got Atsu. And of course, if they do another ghost of whoever, Atsu's gonna become a legend in history. So, or like they did Jin Sakai, they might try to erase her legacy in history. But I mean, she has Kiku, so Kiku might write a book about her or something like that down the lines, and her name would be etched in history as the ghost of Yotei and what she did to take down Clan Saito and all the Yotei 6 and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of potential there for if they do another ghost game, which they probably will at some point. I think they will do another ghost game at some point. Man, I'm dragging this out. I really said I was gonna keep the show, and I'm kind of dragging this out right now. All right, let's wrap this up. Like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it. 8 out of 10, amazing soundtrack. 10 out of 10 soundtrack. 10 out of 10 cinematics. 10 out of 10 everything goes. Everything else is 10 out of 10. All right, I can't complain. I don't have anything else much else to say about it. I do now, like I said, the story is the only thing that pushes it down to 8 out of 10. You may be thinking, if I have everything else 10 out of 10, then why would the story hold it back? Because the story is very important, guys. No matter how fun a gameplay is, if the story is not there, the story's not hitting, it's just not hitting. And I don't even like, and honestly, I can't even say which story I like. Honestly, I can honestly say I do. For what I remember in Ghost of Tsushima, I kind of like that story a bit more than I did Ghost of Yotei. And not even because I just felt like Jin Sakai was a better character per se or anything of that nature. It was more of his story was better. I mean, them and characters is something entirely, a whole different subject, but his story was more interesting, honestly. Hers was, you know, family killed, you know, I'm going on revenge. You know, and I'm not going to stop until everyone is going to pay their due for what they did to my family. And she pretty much thought her whole family is dead. Junbei, well, Junbei is an interesting case. Junbei is not a terrible character. He's not a terrible character, but I think Junbei. I still feel like Junbei should have been dead. I feel like his character should have stayed dead. I think he should have stayed dead in the backstory. We could have found something else better than that. Honestly, I think that's why I feel like we'll hold it back a lot. Him being alive was like, oh, okay, he's alive. So now she's definitely about to start going through a change now because now her brother's alive. She's gonna start softening up a lot more. You know, start taking. I won't say she came like more like softer because she was still very rough around the edges, very rough, which became very apparent. She was going to go on this mission regardless, and all the trouble she led Junbei into, she was just as reckless as ever. In fact, I go as far as to say, actually, I take back what I said. I was wrong. She became more reckless with Junbei, if anything. Yeah, she became even fucking more reckless. I say she was more cautious before she knew he was alive, but she became more reckless knowing he was alive because she just started dragging him on the mission. She just kind of felt like she was unstoppable when she had her brother by her side. So that sibling bond was something powerful, and the twin wolves was definitely something that, you know, it shined its own way. Kiku's character wasn't bad. She wasn't a bad character, you know. She played a part that she needed to play in, you know, being a daughter of Junbei, being that sign that Asukeni D embrace having family again, and they can be, she can have a life outside being a ghost. So, real thoughts. I don't need the extra yappy. I need some real yap, some real thoughts, because I feel like I can learn something more from these two stories that I may be missing. And also, I have more bounties to do. I don't know if I want to go back and do those bounties or not. And there's also Taki, so I had to take care of in the mountains. You guys think I should do that? You know what? Tell me down in the comment section about that. I'm trying to think what my next game gonna be. The Marvel game? Not Rivals. The Cosmic Invasion. You know what? It might be Cosmic Invasion. No, actually, on second thought, I kind of realized I told you guys I was gonna do Walking Dead. I actually still have that Walking Dead footage. I have a lot of it, but it's half done. Like, it's a half completed game. So it's like, it's weird. It's in a weird spot right now. And I haven't played the game in fucking months. So I don't know. I have to go back and I have to probably look on my old footage and just to catch myself back up on it. So I won't be lost in that story and decisions I made. That's going to take some time. All right. I'm not going to lie to you guys. That's going to take some time if I get to that. So for the time being, it probably will be Marvel's Cosmic Invasion or Dispatch. And I've yet to play Dispatch, and I have it. I've been having it sitting on my console for like since it came out. What you guys think? Dispatch or Marvel Cosmic Invasion? No, fuck it. We may do both. All right, we'll do both. I'll just do Dispatch first, and then we'll do Cosmic Invasion. Fuck it. Oh, damn, my fault. How can I forget? It's been so long now that I forgot how I usually even end my videos. Like the videos, just like the video. Tell me in the comments below. I'm special. I hope you guys have a great day. See ya.